Okay, it should be coming on just a second.
Alberto Rodriguez, looks like you're in an airplane with your little headset there and everything.
Well, my microphone went out, so I had to get the next best thing.
Looks good.
Werner, I'm pretty sure we're on Zoom now.
All right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to County Court at Law number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court via Zoom hearings. Today we have several motions to revoke probation hearings and 2 pleas set. At this time, we're going to take up the pleas. In every case, our Assistant Criminal District Attorney is Mr. Nicholas Maru, and our CSDD representative is Ms. Susan Gross, who I will swear at this time. Ms. Gross, are you present? Is she present?
Coming on.
Yes, she is.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. Okay, let's talk about our.
And you'll need to do the same with John Fonseca.
Mr. Fonseca, are you with us today? I see you. Mr. Fonseca,
John,
you're about to give. He's got his hand up. I guess he's listening to us. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, the 2 pleas we have set today are clause 648210, State of Texas versus Jimmy Joe Pena with Mr. Charles Mice as attorney, and we have 631772, State of Texas versus Rodolfo Guerra with Mr. Ivan Barrera as attorney. Mr. Pena and Mr. Guerra, I have to have you identify a document before we get into this any further. For each of you, I have a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Pena?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. And Mr. Guerra, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mice, as attorney for Mr. Pena, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Barrera, as attorney for Mr. Guerra, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Pena and Mr. Guerra, at this time, I'm holding in front of you documents entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purport to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Pena, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, it is. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Guerra, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. By signing these documents, for each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety. If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney. So in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct, Mr. Pena?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Guerra?
Yes, Your Honor.
As attorney for Mr. Pena, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor, he is.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Guerra.
He is, Judge.
Mr. Pena, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir, I am, sir. Your Honor.
Mr. Guerra, same question. Are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes.
As attorney for Mr. Pena, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, they have.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Guerra.
They have, Judge.
Thank you. Let's see what the charges are. Mr. Pena, and clause 648210 to the charge of prosecution. How do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Thank you, sir. Is there an agreement for Mr. Pena?
Yes, Judge, 1 second. For Mr. Pena, it's going to be 6/12, a $200 fine, court cost, 24 hours community service, an AIDS awareness class, and a no contact order with the intersection of North Zazamora Street and Carter.
And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
That is our understanding, Your Honor.
Mr. Pena, the court accepts your plea of no contest. I find you guilty. I said 6 months in the Bear County Jail, probated for 1 year, a $200 fine, 24 hours community service, AIDS awareness course, in order you have no contact with the intersection of North Stars and Mora and Carter Street in San Antonio, Bear County, Texas. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Pena?
No, Judge.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Let Mr. Pena, thank you, counsel.
And Judge, before you move on, I'm attempting to find the agreement for Mr. Guerrero. I have no record of it. It was between me and Paul Vasquez. That's why I'm confused. I guess, Ivan, are you covering for Paul on this one?
Yeah, I'm covering for Paul.
Okay.
Ivan, what's your understanding of the plea bargain on this case, if you have one?
Yeah, Judge, I actually do. I have it on my notes. It would be waive, drop it from a DWI second to a DWI first, 6/16. Proceed with a DWI first, $500 fine, court cost, 48 hours community service, DWI intervention, dip, cat snip, and smart start for half the term.
And I apologize. How long was the term?
6/16, Judge.
6 over 16 months, 1/6. State, is that
Correct.
your understanding of the agreement, or do y'all need to chat more?
I believe so, Judge. I think the confusion was ADA Wright made this offer before he left, and to Paul, so I had no record, and then now I've taken over, but I'm looking at my notes and I found it, and it looks like that was the agreement.
Okay, stand by a second. Okay, so state, I think we have a motion to reduce this case or waive the enhancement from DWI second and make it a DWI first. Would that be correct?
Yes, Judge. You want me to make that motion?
Yeah, go ahead.
State moves to amend the information to include a count 2 DWI first, waive count 1, and proceed on count 2.
I think all you really need to do is move to waive the DWI second enhancement, which automatically makes the DWI first. Would you agree
Is
with
it
that?
listed on the information, Judge?
I don't have any information in front of me to tell you that. All right, we'll do it your way to make sure. How's that?
Oh, you're right, Judge. You're absolutely correct. It's my mistake.
So all the state is moving to waive the DWI second enhancement, thereby making it a DWI first. Is that correct?
Correct.
And defense, any objection to that?
No objection, Judge.
I imagine not. Okay, with that being done, Mr. Garrett, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense. Mr. Garrett, can you hear me, sir? We lost Mr. Garrett. Is he on? Pat, is he still with us, do you think? I don't see him on my screen. Pat, your microphone is off.
He was on, Your Honor. Rodolfo Guerra.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, ma'am, I'm back.
We were
Okay,
afraid-
the judge is asking you a question.
we were afraid you were captured by aliens or something. All right. Mr. Guerra, the state has moved to waive the DWI second enhancement, making your case a DWI first. Therefore, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
And I believe it was no contest is what you got on the paper. Is that correct?
No contest. Yes, Judge.
Court accepts the plea of no contest to driving while intoxicated, first offense. Is there an agreement in this?
Yes, Judge. It's going to be 6/16, a $500 fine, court costs, 48 hours community service, DWI intervention, dip, cat snip, and Smart Start Mobile for half the probation term.
Vince, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Judge.
And is Mr. Guerra already on a Smart Start Mobile at this time? Can you hear me, Mr. Guerra?
Judge, I think he's having internet issues. Kind of looks frozen.
Okay, well, he came back a minute ago. We'll wait for him.
Judge, I believe he is on the Smart Start currently.
Okay. Ivan, you want to try and call him on his cell phone if you have that number and see if we can get him back on?
Of course, Judge.
Yeah, it looks like he got off again. He was kicked off again, Your Honor. He may have to try to come back on.
Well, Mr. Brewer, I think we could probably proceed without him at this point with your permission.
Yes, Judge, we can proceed.
Okay, for the record, Mr. Guerra apparently has lost our connection on our Zoom and is not present, but his attorney has waived his presence just strictly for the issue of sentencing, which is an agreed plea bargain between the state and the defense. My understanding is Mr. Guerra pled no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. I find him guilty. I assess 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 16 months, assessing a $500 fine plus cost 48 hours community service, DWI intervention course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program outpatient drug course, and the Smart Start mobile device for 8 months, which is 1/2 the term of 16 months. Is that correct, defense?
Correct, Judge.
Is that correct, state?
Yes, Judge.
Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Guerra?
No, Judge.
None from the defense, Judge.
Your Honor, Ivan and Mr. Pena, since they were given probation, you will be contacted within 24 hours. If you do not hear from probation within 24 hours, they have the responsibility, y'all have this responsibility of calling them. I'm going to give you a phone number to call. So get a pen and paper, Mr. Pena. You need to call area code 210-335-7200 and ask for intake. It will be your responsibility. So give them 48 hours. And if you don't hear from them, probably by Friday, call. And I'm sure you can relay that information, Mr. Barrera, right?
We'll do, Judge. We'll do, Pat.
That's okay.
Okay, excuse me, Friday morning, or if I don't hear by,
If you have not heard from probation, yes. Call Friday morning, okay?
okay, all right, thank you. I can get off
Thank
now?
you. You can go.
Okay, thank you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
This time, have we got April Jean Valadez on board?
Yes, sir.
And do we have Monica Corrala, her attorney?
Yes,
believe
Your Honor,
so.
I'm here.
Let's just talk about this briefly. We're not going to go into this hearing at this time until we get everybody. Cause 379-706, State of Texas versus April Jean Valadez. This is a motion to revoke. Let's see. Community supervision. And the main allegation apparently is that Ms. Valadez has been missing for about 12 years. My understanding is defense counsel just got hired yesterday. Would that be correct, Ms. Corella?
Yes, Your Honor.
And has requested a continuance, and I asked them to be present today and chat with the state and see if there was a possibility of working this out. This is one of those where it's not a real serious situation other than the fact we haven't seen her in a long time. Obviously, she's either A, committed no more crimes or is really good at what she does because they haven't caught her in 12 years. This is one of those I would probably, if all this was true that's alleged about the AWOL, I would probably revoke her and then give her the opportunity to say if she paid whatever money she owes the probation department, I would waive her jail sentence. And I think that's like $1,170. Ms. Gross, is that more or less accurate?
Her total is $1,174, Your Honor.
$4. So anyway, that's where I stand on the thing, but anything you and the state agree to, I'm going to go along with. But State, have y'all got 2 DAs where one of y'all could go in a chat room and talk to Ms. Corella?
I can do that, Judge.
And the other one needs to be here for a hearing we're gonna have while y'all are doing that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now we're gonna talk about, thank you. Now we're gonna talk about Mr. Scallon. And let's see if I can find a file on that one.
Nick, I'm gonna send you to a room,
Okay.
3, room 3.
Okay.
Okay. I apologize, I don't have all the prior documents. 20.
You're breaking up, Your Honor.
Ashley, you need to mute.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, we're good. Back on the record, we're talking about cause number 610809, State of Texas versus Austin Scallon. And we had a previous hearing on this. I'm sorry, represented by Ashley Morgan. The hearing we had was a motion to revoke probation, if I recall correctly. And at that time, I gave Mr. Scallon the option of either A, staying on probation and volunteering for the substance abuse treatment drug program, or taking his revocation. And at that time, my recollection is that he chose to take his revocation and has been in jail ever since. And Ms. Morgan, you have a new plan. What is your plan?
Judge, I think, if Mrs. Benavides could correct me, but I think as long as the judgment reflects that he can serve his time at SADF, his revocation time at SADF, they'll go ahead and send him.
Okay, well, that would be the quick fix. So if it's okay with the defense and it's okay with the state, I will enter an order today that amends the judgment within 30 days, so that shouldn't be a problem, that allows Mr. Scallon to serve his jail time that I imposed at the substance abuse treatment facility. And Ms. Morgan, do you think that will fix it?
I think that'll fix it. Judge, I filed a nunc-pro-tunc, so if you want to pull, I don't know if you have that filed with you.
My understanding of judgment is nunc-pro-tunc are those are administrative errors. This was not an administrative error. This is just a new development, but it's a good. We all want him to go to
at that particular hearing, you did order at the time run concurrent with the felony.
Correct.
I just didn't have the cause number then.
You have a cause number now?
Yes, sir. Oh, come on.
We can get it off the computer probably. It's not that life or death at this point.
Well, I have it handy, Judge. It's 2019 CR 0837.
And did he recently receive probation on that case? Is that correct?
There was, after your motion to revoke probation, there was a subsequent motion to adjudicate his guilt in that particular charge that was denied, and there an alternate amend to allow him to complete SADF as a condition of that probation. And so when I checked with the CLO yesterday, when he was set to be sent to SADF, she said that he had to complete his county court 6 time first, which was set to end about March 28th of 2021. And that was not quite our understanding at the time. So that's why I came back to the court.
Okay. My recollection is, although we did not have the felony case number at that time, that I did say that his misdemeanor sentence would run concurrent with his current pending felony case, which is cause number 2019 CR 0837. Is that correct, Ms. Morgan?
Yes, sir.
I will enter a day today pursuant to defense request and no objection from the state that will allow Mr. Scallon to serve his sentence on the county court 6 misdemeanor case at the substance abuse treatment facility.
Yes, sir.
All right. I guess we're good.
If it doesn't, we still have one more day jurisdiction in which you have plenary power. So I'll check with the CLO this afternoon in the felony case. And if for something it doesn't work, then I'll file a motion for a new trial so we can amend the judgment tomorrow.
Okay, I apologize. I'm having a hard time hearing you. You're breaking up. Is this on the
sorry.
talking about or a different case?
No, on this particular case, I'll check with the CLO this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
And if that's not sufficient, then I can file a motion for a new trial because you'll still have plenary power tomorrow. And that will allow us to put him back on probation and alternate amend to allow for SADF.
Well, we're not doing that. We're just, everything remains exactly the same on the misdemeanor case. except that this, instead of serving his sentence in jail, he's going to serve it at SATA.
Sounds good.
Your Honor, and Ashley, we've already checked with, Susan was very kind enough to ask one of the directors over Setoff, and so they're saying that's not a problem. It will
Okay.
just mean the paperwork. The paperwork may not get there until tomorrow in the morning, but it
Okay.
will be done, and I'll make sure that the clerks know that that is a priority so that he can go, okay?
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Did that one. We've got Enrique.
Am I dismissed, Your Honor?
Go ahead. What you got?
Yes, sir. You're dismissed, Mr.
Who's talking? I'm sorry.
It was me, Your Honor. I was just asking if I was dismissed.
Mr. Scallon.
Thank you very much, sir. Do you understand what
I'm gonna remove you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, next case I have, we have two Spanish speakers, correct? Mr. Avila and Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, Mr. Avila is the inmate. Now, he does say that he understands English, and I believe he said he told me he preferred it, but we do have the interpreter if there is an issue, because we also have Mr. Sanchez, okay?
Okay, and who's our interpreter today? I'm sorry.
Mariana.
Okay. Mr. Avila, are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, I see you. Mr. Avila, would you prefer that we conduct this hearing in English or Spanish? And your microphone is turned off at this time, sir. You need to turn your microphone on.
Turn the microphone on, Mr. We can't hear you. It should be maybe on the computer. There should be a button.
Or it'll say unmute.
Thank you. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, sir, my
Yes.
question was, would you prefer to have your hearing conducted in English or Spanish? Do you have an
Eh,
interpreter to help
No,
you?
in English.
All right, sir, you have no problem understanding what we're saying in English. Is that correct?
It is correct. Yes, it is.
We're going to go through
Understood.
this hearing in English. If you have any questions, just raise your hand and stop us, and I'll have the interpreter jump in and assist you if you have any questions on what we're talking about. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir.
All right, all good. And I show 3 cases on Mr. Avila, but there's just one set for MTR. Is that correct? The other 2 are open, I'm guessing?
Correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Daniel Garcia, you're representing Mr. Avila, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to be heard for just a second.
Sure, go ahead.
Your Honor, he has 3 cases and the only one set is the MTR today. Mr. Avila has some mental issues that have cropped up, and I have asked that he be evaluated by the mental health court, and they're going to evaluate him tomorrow. They had evaluated him in the summer, and he had rejected their help, and that's the only reason he wasn't put into the mental health court at that time. However, he understands now, I think, that he needs to be under probation and has agreed to their help with the mental health court. At any rate, Your Honor, he's scheduled to be interviewed by them tomorrow. I really believe, after spending some time with Mr. Avila, that he doesn't fully understand what these hearings about, and that he really does need assistance, Your Honor.
Well, let me back up. Has Mr. Avila undergone a competency evaluation somewhere during this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, he has.
Did they find him competent or incompetent?
They did find him competent, but they also diagnosed him provisional diagnosis for mild neurocognitive disorder, traumatic brain injury, which they went on to further state that it needed to be confirmed, that they did not have the resources to confirm it.
Okay, but by law, doesn't that make him still eligible to do anything legally if he's found competent? I understand there may be mitigation involved, some other limitations mentally, but he's either competent or he's incompetent. Aren't those the 2 categories that we deal with?
He was found competent, Your Honor.
Okay, so you see any reason why we can't go forward with the MTR hearing today? And of course, you can still interview with the mental health court for possible probation with them on the other 2 cases.
Your Honor, if you feel that he's competent to understand your questions, I say yes, go forward, Your Honor. But I don't feel he's competent. He's been in front of two judges, Judge Shelton, who ordered the mental competency after hearing him, and also Judge Canales, who could not go forward with any sort of plea instructions. So that's where we're at, Your Honor. I don't believe.
Judge, I was present for both of those when Judge Shelton sent him to be evaluated, and then when Judge Canales sent him back. I was present for both of those.
Counsel, do I have your permission to talk to your client?
Yes, Your Honor, you do.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Avila.
Yes, sir.
Been brought up that they put you through a mental competency evaluation a while back, and that you came out competent, which means that you're able to understand the English language and or the Spanish language and make decisions for yourself, and that you're not impaired mentally in that capacity. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like you're okay to go forward on this hearing today?
Yes, sir. I am confident. I'm confident.
And in the middle of this hearing, if you have a question, I want you to just, once again, put your hands up and stop us for a moment. And either A, you can talk to the interpreter if you need help with that, or you can talk to your attorney, or we can send you guys out to a chat room to try it. Would that be okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Defense, do you have any other issues with regard to Mr. Avila?
No, Your Honor, those were my only issues.
Once again, this is cause 638869, State of Texas versus Enrique Santos Avila. Mr. Avila, I have a document which needs some correcting, which is a titled Consent to MTR Hearing Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. And on my copy, where it says State of Texas versus, it does not have your name, so that needs to be filled in, Pat. And at the bottom, it has the defendant's signature, but not his printed name, so that needs to be printed in administratively. Otherwise, Mr. Avila, are you familiar with this document? And is this your signature on it, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
And Mr. Garcia, as defense counsel for Mr. Avila, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay. And Mr. Avila, the next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. And it's marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has the right to appeal the court's action revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. And basically that doesn't mean I have to revoke you. That just means that worst case scenario, I have the ability to revoke you if I feel that that's in the interest of justice, and that you have limited rights to appeal. Understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Garcia, is this your signature as attorney for Mr. Avila on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I also have an exact same document in Spanish that has both of y'all signatures. On the Spanish copy, Mr. Avila, is that your signature also?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Garcia, is this your signature on the Spanish version of this document also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is a motion to revoke community supervision. My understanding is uncontested. Once again, our ADA is Mr. Nicholas Maru. Our CSCD officer is Ms. Susan Gross, who has been previously sworn. How does the defendant plead?
Guilty?
It'd be true or not true, I believe is.
I am guilty.
True, is that correct?
Yes, it is cool.
Ms. Gross, would you please advise the defendant and defense counsel and the state and the court what the status of Mr. Avila's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. His performance on probation has been very poor. He never reported. However, he has been in jail since June 15th of this year. He's been arrested and charged with 2 new misdemeanor offenses in which he is awaiting a hearing, and that would be terroristic threat of a family member or household and criminal trespassing on private property. These occurred the day before his arrest, shortly after he was placed on probation. He has paid $715 towards his fees, has a balance of $417, and is delinquent $99. He has completed 0 of his 10 hours community service since he's been in custody in the jail pretty much the entire time. There are no drug tests on file. He was not ordered to do any classes, but probation is recommending revocation. As for a criminal history, he has a prior arrest for criminal mischief 20 to 500, criminal trespass of a building, disorderly conduct, language, assault, bodily injury, married, assault, family, second offense. It never got out of the night mag status. And 3, criminal trespassing, private property.
Is the current offense that we're talking about, criminal trespass, is this a class A or class B? It doesn't say it's on private property, would raise it to an A, I guess. So we're talking class B, criminal trespass as the original offense?
I'm gonna double check for you, Your Honor. Looks like it's adjudicated under class B.
Hey, would you agree with that?
Yes, Judge, I'm looking at it right now. It's a B.
Okay, in defense, you would agree with the class B, correct? Garcia, can you
I'm sorry, Your Honor, you cut out there.
agree with the court and the state that it's class B offense that we're dealing with, not a class A?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Mr. Avila,
Yes.
on the motion to revoke probation. You've got plenty of time in jail probably to get a judgment satisfied on this case, but the concern of the state certainly, and the court and your defense counsel, is that apparently you are still either family members or friends or acquaintances that you still apparently continue to contact and whatnot. And we want to make sure that that's going to stop. Will that stop if this gets finished and you get out of jail?
Yes.
I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead.
Your Honor, may I add something?
Absolutely.
I submitted to the court some exhibits that show that the Mrs. Avila, his former wife, is his payee under Social Security disability. So there is some contact between these members. He has a problem understanding. So what's going on is they're collecting his checks. He doesn't have a full accounting based on his understanding. He calls them. They don't answer his calls. He goes to their house. He gets arrested for criminal trespass. And
Judge,
so,
and if the state may, it's not as plain as defense counsel is making it seem. While he does go over there, he goes over there intoxicated and makes threats and threatens to kill his daughter and his ex-wife. And in one of these instances, he was so intoxicated that they had to call EMS because he curled up in a ball and had alcohol poisoning on their front step. So this isn't just a case of, oh, he's trying to collect his benefits and they won't give it to him.
Your Honor, I didn't say that, and I didn't mean to leave that impression. I just wanted to let the court know that there is contact between these individuals and there's a reason for it.
Okay, well, here's what I suggest. Let's hear what y'all have to say about this. It's kind of apples and oranges. The MTR is apples and the new cases are oranges, but apparently you're well on the way to get him some help with his mental situation in the mental health court. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if he were to be revoked today on this motion to revoke probation and given a maximum sentence of 180 days, my records reflect he has 225 days incarceration. So from my perspective, it would be judgment satisfied and he'd probably walk out of the jail except for whatever bonds and whatnot are on the new cases. State, if you got any input on that, that would be kind of where I'm going with this.
Judge, and that was the state's position, is that he already has the time for a Class B misdemeanor. The only thing the state would request is if he is released on bond, that there be a no contact order and a full GPS so that we can monitor Mr. Avila, because the last time this came up, he went right back to there and the same instance occurred.
If I can chime in, I'm looking at his jail booking right now, and I am showing that one of his cases that's set into the future, he is remanded without bond, so he would not get out of jail at this time.
Okay. Well, defense, do you agree with what I propose on the MTR? And then, of course, we'll have to see on the other two cases.
Yes, Your Honor, I do on the MTR, and I'm sorry I didn't hear that other part on the remainder of cases.
Mr. Avila, you still with me, sir?
Yes,
Okay, here's what we're talking about doing on this case. This is a motion to revoke your probation on the original case, which was a criminal trespass case. And what I've put out to the state and the defense counsel is that my plan is to grant the state's motion to revoke your probation. I'm gonna give you a maximum sentence of 180 days in jail, but you've already done that. So you're gonna get credit for the time you've already done. And this is going to be judgment satisfied. So this is gonna be over, but you're still gonna be held in jail because of the 2 new cases. Do you understand all that, sir?
the two, yes, understand.
Okay, is that okay with you that we handle this current case that way?
Yes, understand.
Okay.
It's
Ben,
okay.
got any further input for us before I go ahead and announce that?
No, Your Honor, I have no further input.
State, any further input before I pronounce sentence?
No, Judge.
Thank you. And Mr. Al,
Judge,
yeah,
I know you're gonna ask me, so I'll tell you, he has a $100 fine.
100.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Avila, in clause 63869, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I revoke your probation due to 180 days of the Bear County jail. $100 fine plus cost credit, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Avila in clause 638869?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Pat, once again, we need to administratively correct the consent to MTR form. Okay, Mr. Avila, we're done with you today. Thank you very much for your cooperation, sir. And best
Thank you. Thanks.
Mr. Garcia, I have a question. Is he going to be evaluated from jail via Zoom by the mental health court?
Yes, Ms. Maru, that's exactly how they're going to do it.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, how long ago was his competency evaluation?
November 25th, 2020.
Okay, so 2 months ago, plus or minus?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I guess we giving him another one like that wouldn't really help us any at this time. Okay, that's what I need to know. Thank you, sir. Everybody's dismissed. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And let's see, next I've got on my hit list, Gregorio Sanchez. And is David Garcia make it in yet?
No, Your Honor. I sent him a link the same time that I sent Mr. Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez has told me that he has tried to contact him by phone, and that's what I was told today. So I don't know whether he's coming in or not. Mr. Sanchez is here.
Do you have a cell phone number on Mr. Garcia?
I do not.
I'm going to send it to you and ask you to call him, okay?
Okay.
And let's see. I'm universally hated and feared because I have every defense counsel in the world's cell phone number. Okay, stand by. All right, Pat, I'm gonna text that to you right now.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you should have it. Okay, the next case we have on our list is State of Texas versus Rodney Taylor, which also involves Mr. Garcia, it looks like. This is the same David Garcia? Oh, now I've got Pat do another thing.
Yes, Your Honor, it's the same one. I'm gonna call right now. So go into the next one. So let me see.
Let's go to State of Texas versus Isis Hudlin with Alma Benavides. Alma, are you with us?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay, and we have Mr. Hudlin.
It's Miss Hudlin, Your Honor.
This is cause number 598779, State of Texas versus Isis Hudlin. This is Motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. My understanding is it is uncontested. Representing the defendant is Ms. Alma Benavides. Representing the state is Mr. Nicholas Maru. Representing Bear County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who had been previously sworn. Ms. Hudlin, before we get into this any further, I have a couple of documents I need you to identify your signature on. The first one is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you. And Ms. Benavides,
Yes,
as attorney for Ms. Hudlin, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And Pat, administratively, or she's, Susan, if you would remind me to remind Pat, this needs a date underneath the signatures of Ms. Hudlin and her attorney. Ms. Benavides, this is your signature on this document also?
Yes, Your Honor.
The next document, Ms. Hudlin, I'm looking at is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, that is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Ms. Benavides, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. On the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how does the defendant plead?
Your Honor, that's going to be a plea of true with an explanation.
Fair enough. Ms. Gross, what's the status of Ms. Hudlin's probation, please?
Judge, Ms. Hudlin has performed very poorly on probation. She missed 3 months of reporting. We last saw her on December 10th of 2020. She's only paid $32 towards her fees, has a balance of $1,025. She has not completed any of her 24 hours of community service. She failed to submit to drug testing on 3 occasions, and she had 1 diluted drug test. She did complete the drug offender education program. She had 1 prior civil case in which was filed against her for injury to a child with bodily injury. The case is expired as of November 16th of 2020. This is her 2nd violation report, her 1st motion to revoke, and the probation department is recommending revocation.
Is this a Class A or a Class B offense?
Let me look.
POCS PG3 less than 28 grams.
I believe it's an A, Your Honor.
That would be my guess. State, you got some, do you know if it's an A or a B?
That's what I'm looking at. For some reason.
Class A, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is so weird.
Recommendation.
Along with probation.
Revocation.
That was the part of your department. So state, is your recommendation revocation also?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, defense request?
Your Honor, if I could, with regard to Ms. Hudlin failing to submit to her drug testing for August 24th, September 2nd, and September 8th, she's told me that she was having COVID symptoms and was in quarantine, doing self-quarantine during that time. With regard to the allegation that she failed to report a change of address, she tells me that she has been residing with her sister for the last 3 years. However, there have been some personal issues between her and her sister and her 5 children living in a very small 2-bedroom house. And so she did temporarily leave for about 2 weeks, but she went back and she is back at that residence. She has been on full GPS since December 26th, and so she is not able to work. She did complete the dope class, and she has approximately 20 days in jail credit. So I'm asking the court to consider terminating her unsat in light of the fact that she has served 20 days in jail and has completed the dope class.
Ms. Hudlin, I've got 2 options. One is to revoke you and sentence you to a jail sentence. Maximum sentence would be 1 year in jail. I'm probably inclined to go with 180 days because you did do some things. The other option is you I will take away your deferred adjudication, leave you on probation, start you over again, and send you for 120 days to the substance abuse treatment facility, which is our inpatient drug alcohol rehabilitation program. Is that something you'd be interested in?
It's like a drug program or something?
Okay. A, I could just revoke you and put you in jail. B,
Okay.
I could revoke your deferred adjudication, find you guilty of the original offense of possession of controlled substance, and I would probably give you a 2-year probation period, but I would send you for 120 days to the substance abuse treatment facility, what we call SATF, which is our inpatient drug alcohol rehab program. But I'm going to make you volunteer for that. I don't want to just send you over there and have you sit there and not pay attention. It's got to be something you're doing. And Alma, is this something you guys would like to go to the chat room and talk about so you could explain clearly to her what we're doing?
Yes.
All right. Why don't you send them to a chat room, Pat, if you would, please.
And Judge, just for the record, the state, if we were to revoke and put jail time, state would be recommending 90 days.
They both get out?
Yeah, they're in the breakout room now, Judge.
All right. Our next case is cause number 650102, State of Texas versus Daniel Garcia. Mr. Garcia, are you with us today, sir? I think I see you are. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And represented by Alberto Rodriguez. Alberto, are you with us today?
Yes, Your Honor. And but I would like to add that he checked in late, so he has not done any paperwork.
Good point.
We've been waiting. So,
Pat, is it possible to send them the waiver?
Your Honor, Mr. Rodriguez has it. I sent it to him back when. I mean, I can send it again if that's easier, but he has it. I sent it, I believe, on the 4th.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
It was sent, but it was sent to my old email.
Okay.
I never received it.
Then I don't know what your new email is, sir. I would need that.
Okay. ALRLIC 19 at gmail.com.
Okay. All right, Your Honor, I will send it while you go on with other people. Also, Mr. Garcia said he should be in the next 10 minutes.
Okay. Mr. Corella, let me get back to you guys. Are out of the chat room. Did y'all come up with a plan?
Yes, Your Honor, I think we've been able to reach a plea bargain agreement.
Proposed agreement.
The agreement would be that she pays the $11.74 outstanding fees and we have her probation revoked.
Okay, so what I originally proposed, the fact that they would be revoked and sentenced, but if they paid the money within 30 days or whatever, we'd waive the jail sentence. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Have you talked to your client about what length of time they're going to need to get the money together and get it paid?
Yes, Judge, I think if we can have the 30 days, we'd appreciate the 30 days.
State, is that okay with you?
Yes, Judge, that's fine.
All right, find my file. Stand by. Okay, this is cause number 379706, State of Texas versus April Jean Valadez. And let's see. Is Pat back? She is back. Do we have, I don't have a consent form for Miss Valadez that I see. That doesn't mean I don't have it. I just don't see it right now.
Your Honor, I know that they did sign the paperwork and I know that I did send it to you, Your Honor.
Okay, so it does exist. Everybody agrees it exists, whether I'm looking at it or not. Ms. Corella,
Yes.
did y'all get the paperwork and sign the 2 documents that were sent to you?
Judge, I believe so. Yes, sir.
Therefore, first off, let's talk about the fact that you filed a defendant's motion for continuance. Is it my understanding that the defense is willing to withdraw that at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Valadez, in clause 379706, there are apparently two documents that I need to confirm your signature on. One is titled consent to video conference for a motion to revoke probation hearing. Is that your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And as attorney for Ms. Valadez, is this your signature on this document also, Ms. Corella?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And the second document, let's see, is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. And Ms. Valadez, is this your signature on this document also, ma'am?
Yes,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
And Ms. Corella, as attorney for Ms. Valadez, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. My understanding is this is an uncontested motion to, let's see what it is, revoke community supervision. On the motion to revoke community supervision, how does the defendant plead?
Ms. Valadez, I'm going to answer for you. She pleads true, Judge.
All right. Court accepts plead true with an explanation. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court what the status of Ms. Valadez probation is, please? Ms. Gross still with it? Up there she is. Your microphone's turned off, Sue.
Sorry about that, Judge. She's performed very poorly on probation in that she is not reported since June 22nd of 2012. She paid $50 towards her fees, has a balance of $1,174. We have no proof of completion of any of her 80 hours of community service. She had 2 negative drug tests. We have no proof of enrollment or completion of the CAPSNP program. She has 1 prior theft, $50 to $1,500. And the probation department is recommending revocation. And her original fine was $300.
Okay. State recommendation?
Judge, state is going to recommend that, along with the agreement that we had, that she pay her balance in full, and that the state would term unsat.
Okay, well, that's not going to be in the cards. But what I proposed is she's going to get revoked. She's going to get sentenced. And I'm going to give her 30 days to report to Bexar County Jail. And if during that 30-day period of time, she pays the, Susan, correct me, $1,174 even, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
To the Bexar County Probation Department, she needs to let Ms. Corella know. Ms. Corella lets me know, then I immediately alter and amend and waive her jail sentence. So that's what's going to happen. She will be revoked. She will be sentenced, but she won't have to serve the sentence because in lieu of that, we allowed her to pay her fines and whatnot.
Fine, Judge. Okay, well then state recommendation is revocation.
And Ms. Corella, is that acceptable to the defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Valadez, the court accepts her plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your probation. I find you guilty of the offense of theft, $500 to $1,500. What's class A, is it not, state?
Judge, yes, it is.
Okay. I sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. It says a $300 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. You're to report to the Bexar County Jail. Today is the 12th. What is the 12th of February? What day? Let's see.
Prima,
Friday.
ya llegó el colchón, parece.
Ms. Valadez, you're to report to the Bexar County Jail at 9:00 a.m. on Friday, February the 12th, 2021. But if you were to pay to the Bexar County CSCD the $1,174 you owe them before that time, I will waive your jail sentence. I will not know you've done that. So if you do that, make sure you call your attorney and your attorney will call me directly. And Ms. Grella, Mr. Brewer has my cell phone number. He'll be happy to get back with me.
Thank you, Judge.
No, and I will immediately alter and amend the conditions of her sentence and waive her jail sentence. Now, if she waits longer than 30 days or doesn't report, all bets are off and she's just going to have to serve that sentence. So that would be bad. Do you have any questions, Ms. Valdez, what we're doing?
No, sir.
Okay. And the quicker if you were to do that tomorrow instead of wait 30 days, then your sentence would be waived tomorrow. We wouldn't have to worry about it. So I'm recalling any warrants or other bad things we may have done to you before, and hope that all works out. Anything further from the state or the defense on Ms. Valdez?
No, Judge.
None from defense, Your Honor.
No, if I stated originally, but the prosecutor on this case is Mr. Nick Maru, and the CSCD representative is Ms. Susan Gross. Okay, thank you all. Y'all are dismissed.
Thank you, Judge.
Excuse me, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Because can you give me your email again? I must have missed something. Got ALR
LIC.
LIC19 at Gmail?
Yes.
Okay. I missed
Gmail.
okay. I'm going to say
Gmail.com.
thank you. And Your Honor, supposedly, I don't know if I told you, but Mr. Garcia should be coming in. He said he would be in the next couple of minutes.
Are you talking Mr. Garcia?
David Garcia.
Who did we have in the chat room? Alma?
I believe so.
And that was on Ms. Hudlin. Alma, are you back? Or are they still in the chat room?
They're still in the chat room, Your Honor. But you have Brett De La Paz with his defendant.
Your Honor, we're present also with Keller.
And yes, Keller.
You have Fonseca waiting for that too.
Okay, let's go with Mr. Justo Gonzalez as Mario 611-800. Let me find that file. There we go. Brent, are you with us today?
I'm here, Judge.
And Gonzalez, Mario, are you with us today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is cause number 611800, State of Texas versus Justo Gonzalez is Mario. This is a first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. My understanding is it is uncontested. Mr. Gonzalez is Mario. I need you to identify your signature on a couple of documents before we get into this. The first document is entitled Defendant's Consent to MTR Hearing by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. De La Paz, as attorney for Mr. Gonzalez, is Mario. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked as an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Gonzalez is Mario?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Once again, Mr. De La Paz, it's your signature as attorney for Mr. Gonzalez is Mario.
It is, Your Honor.
Representing the state is Mr. Nicholas Maru. Representing the Bexar County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who has been previously sworn. On the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how does the defendant? Mr. De La Paz, you want to enter a plea?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll enter a plea of true on that. I think he may have a little bit of a lag.
Okay. Ms. Gross, would you please advise all parties what the status of Mr. Gonzalez's Mario's probation is, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gonzalez has performed very poorly on probation. He's missed the last 3 months of reporting, and we've not seen him since September 1st of 2020. He has paid in full. His 48 hours community service were probated. He has not done any drug testing. On the 12th of November, the court ordered him to do weekly drug testing. He has failed to comply with that. He did complete DWI education and victim impact panel. He has not done an outpatient program. He is residing in Nevada at this time. He was originally ordered on Smart Start
41824.
Mobile. And at the time the motion was filed, he was testing it 6 times a day and had 22 skips from October 18th to October 24th. His device did go into lockout on November 20th of 2020. The court also ordered him to get a scram device. He neglected to do that. He has no criminal history. The officer is willing to make the recommendation to continue him on probation, but extend him for 1 year and add the Veterans Treatment Program at Via Serena, where he would attend a residential program for a minimum of 28 days.
Mr. De La Paz, didn't you indicate to me somewhere along the line that Mr. Gonzalez Mario had already volunteered for and been accepted and done the 28-day inpatient program at Via Serena with the Veterans Administration?
Your Honor, he's already done 42 or 43 days. I submitted that paperwork to probation and to Mr. Maru. I don't know if they've had a chance to look at it, but I emailed them, and that's how I got the email back on his violations. But he's done all that. He's in the process. He finished the inpatient. He's moving back to San Antonio because he's doing the outpatient treatment through the VA as well. And I provided all that documentation to probation and to Mr. Maru.
Mr. De La Paz, do I have your permission to chat with your client about his treatment?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. Gonzalez, this is Mario. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Your Honor.
Can you tell everybody exactly what treatment you requested from the VA and what you did, and whether it was inpatient and you couldn't leave, or it was outpatient and you went home every night? What was going on with all that?
Yes, Your Honor. So it was a 6-week inpatient treatment at Via Serena. I started on November the 24th. Recently completed about a week ago. I was able to have a multiple of a team that consisted for my addiction therapist, a social worker, PTSD psychologist, and I'm currently doing outpatient once a week for 12 weeks, 1 hour with for alcohol, and also a PTSD psychologist through the VA, Your Honor.
Okay. The only program I'm aware of personally, the VA has lots of programs, but the only one I'm aware of that's inpatient is 28 days. That sound like the one you were in? Is it Via Serena? Does that sound right?
That is correct, Your Honor. They moved it to 42 to 45 days actually, just recently. And yes, we could not leave the location. We were drug tested about twice a week through those 6 weeks. And like I am following outpatient again for 12 weeks with them, and also my PTSD once a week, continuing psychology with my psychologist through the VA as well, Your Honor.
And apparently you're a veteran, Mr. Gonzalez. What did you do in the military, sir?
I was in infantry in the Marine Corps, sir, Your Honor, and I joined the Army after 4 years in the Marine Corps. I served in Iraq and Afghanistan. I was medically retired after 21 years for PTSD, chronic PTSD, and depression. And due to the COVID situation, really, and being in probation, really put me in a bad place mentally, Your Honor. Some of the times that I did not use the device, as she mentioned, was suicidal. And I let go of that. And I ended up going into the psych ward at the VA to get treatment, sir. I just recently lost a friend to suicide. That was around the September time from when I stopped the blowing on my device due to my depression, anxiety, and I thought about killing myself and decided to ask for help. I've been dealing with my PTSD for almost 10 years, Your Honor, and obviously coping with alcohol has been my way, and definitely was been a great experience that I was able to attend the VS Arena treatment and giving me more hope for myself, continuing my PTSD counseling definitely, and understanding that coping with alcohol, has really not helped me at all. So I am proud to be a veteran, but I am dealing with quite a bit of depression due to some traumas.
Understand, sir. What Army units did you serve with in Iraq and Afghanistan?
I was with the Texas Army National Guard here, deployed in the Nevada National Guard as well. Iraq in 06, 07, and I was in an SFAD mission with the second ID at 2012 and 2013, sir, in Afghanistan.
Gotcha. What was your rank when you were medically retired?
I was an E6, a staff sergeant, Your Honor.
Gotcha. Okay. Dave, have you got any questions based on mine?
Judge, real quick, I just wanted to let Mr. De La Paz know that email you sent me was quarantined, and I had to go through some hurdles to open it. I guess there was the attachment or something, but I have had a chance to look at it. And Judge, I can see that he was admitted on 11/24/20 and discharged 11/5/21, and they do state that he is complicit with getting help and maintaining his sobriety and on the right track.
Mr. De La Paz, have you got any questions for your client based on mine?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Okay. State, have you got a recommendation or an agreement that you want to present to the court?
It's going to be along with probation, Judge, continuing and extending for a year.
And Staff Sergeant Gonzalez, Mario, are you currently living in Nevada or Texas? What's your living plan at this point?
I'm actually, yes, returning to the San Antonio area, Your Honor, due to the fact that due to the COVID here in the Nevada area, most of my counseling was kind of not available. And in Texas, the VA was still kind of proceeding with different treatments, and as I was able to attend VS Arena, Your Honor. So I am moving back to San Antonio in the near future, within the next, I would say, 7 days.
So today, are you in Nevada?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay. And you think you're going to be back in San Antonio full time within 30 days, plus or minus?
That's correct, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, Mario, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke. Enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I deny the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Order you continued on probation with all prior requirements and no sanction at this time. I'm going to alter and amend conditions, and I'd add exactly what you're doing, treatment through the VA. Brent, I'm going to probably ask the defendant the same thing we ask in the Veterans Treatment Court, and that is he sign a waiver so that we can get medical information directly from the VA on how he's doing on these rehabs and stuff. Is that agreeable to the defense?
Absolutely, Judge.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Mr. Gonzalez, Mario?
Yes, Your Honor, no problem at all.
But you're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing. We like you. Don't take yourself out of the game.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very helpful all the way along. Kept me fully involved on what's going on with you. So I've known every day exactly what you were doing. It's all good.
Thank you.
Judge?
Thank you, Brent.
His case expires in 1 month, and the court had originally ordered him to CAT-SNP. Will you be waiving CAT-SNP in lieu of the veterans outpatient program that he's in right now? And will you be extending probation?
Let's extend his probation for 1 year. And let's waive catnip and add, he's already done the inpatient, VA outpatient. I guess it would be the follow-on outpatient.
It is, Your Honor. It appears so anyway from the paperwork, from what I understand.
And if you all may have already provided documentation on everything he's doing with the VA. If you haven't, just do that at your ability. So,
I provided it, Your Honor, to probation, and I think Mr. Maru is acknowledged. He got his, but I can send another copy to the court for the court's file if that's.
And I do have that, Judge.
okay. Well, all we're doing now, basically, he's staying on probation. We're not mad at him. He's starting over. He's doing good with the VA. Continue doing what you're doing with the VA. Let us know.
Yes, Your Honor.
Susan, have the probation officer get a medical waiver. I guess it'd be a HIPAA release within, say, 30 days or whatever, how long that's going to take, so we can directly talk to the medical providers and the counselors and whatnot to see how he's doing. And apparently he's doing well. It sounds good to me. And all we're doing at this point is extending his probation 1 year and changing. He's not required to go through our outpatient drug program, i.e. catnip. He's doing it through the VA. We just need to be able to get direct confirmation from the VA that he's doing that. And we're all good. And he's eligible to he's got my permission to stay in Nevada until he gets back here within 30 days, if that'll work for everybody. If that changes, Mr. Gonzalez, as Mario, just let your attorney know. He'll let me know, and we'll come up with a new plan.
Judge, one more question.
Yeah.
He was originally on Smart Start and you ordered him to get Scram, and right now he's not doing either one. Which one do you want, if any?
Just put him back on Smart Start Mobile at 4 blows a day, just like everybody else. We're starting over.
All right.
If he stops using it or comes up positive alcohol or something, which I'm sure Staff Sergeant Gonzalez Mario would never do, we'll talk again.
And Judge, what sort of timeline do you want for him to obtain the Smart Start Mobile?
Can he get one in Nevada?
That I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
I could inquire about it, Your Honor. Yes, here. Restarted. I think it's locked due to when I went into the
You still have your original device, your Smart Start Mobile device?
That's correct, Your Honor. I was given the first 6 months, which I believe I completed from February 16th to August 16th. That's when I did complete, I believe, in a favorable way. Just at around that time was my friend committed suicide, and that's when I stopped. It really brought me down, but I wasn't able to find out if I was released. My probation officer said that it'd take like 3 or 4 days for them to remove me from the Smart Start. I never really got that confirmation, but yes, I did not. I stopped the device, so I have to unlock it. My understanding.
You need, and Brent might need to help you with this, but you need to call the Smart Start Mobile people and get active again on Smart Start Mobile. And I think they do this kind of over the phone or some satellite or something. And
Sure.
I'm taking you back to only 4 blows a day, just like everybody else before all these violations and skips and whatnot. But obviously we're starting over and you've had some speed bumps in the road. So
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm putting you back where I can monitor what you're doing at the lowest possible level. And
Yes, Your Honor.
once
Is
again,
that for 6 months as well, Your Honor?
as far as I'm concerned, in 6 months from now, if you're doing well,
Yes, sir.
I'll make a decision on whether we can take the Smart Start Mobile off or not. Okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Kind of starting you over, but thanks for your service, sir. I understand you've had some problems.
Thank you.
My suggestion is you're doing exactly what you need to do. And if you have any issues, call the suicide hotline or the VA and they will help you and we will help you. And Brent certainly
Thank
is
you.
24 hours a day.
Thank you. No, Your Honor. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that support.
The defense on Mr. Justo Gonzalez. Is he answering by mail at this time, Susan, or do we need to do that?
Judge, they've got the capability to do the Zoom appointments.
Good.
So his officer will go over all that with him when she sends him the amended conditions. You should be getting those probably sometime tomorrow. You need to sign those
Okay.
conditions electronically and send them back to your officer. And then you also need to speak with her so that she can give you any additional instructions or ask you any questions that she might have with regards to what happened today, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Got any questions,
Okay.
Mr. Gonzalez, Mario?
I do not, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Are you like me when you left Afghanistan and we were winning?
I hate to say it, but no, Your Honor.
I understand. Thanks for your service, sir. Take care.
No.
Brendan?
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Yes. No, nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, we're good on Staff Sergeant Gonzalez. Mario.
Thank you, Your Honor. May be excused.
Yeah. And we got Alan back. And is Hedlund back? Alma, is Alma back? I don't see.
Yes,
Oh, there she
she's
is.
back.
Yes.
On the side, you want to case 598-779, State of Texas versus ISIS Hedlund.
Yes, Your Honor. I did have a chance to confer with my client with regard to the two options that you presented to her. And she is of the opinion that she does not have a substance abuse problem. And I would just point out to the court that the 3 prior drug tests that she took, I believe in August, were all 3 of them were negative. So I would just wanted to point that out to the court. That would have been August 19th. I'm sorry. Yeah, August 6th, August 12th, and August 17th. And then the 3 that followed after that she missed was because she was in quarantine. But I've asked her repeatedly, and she has indicated to me she does not believe she has a substance abuse problem. And so for that reason, she is declining going to SATIF. So the other option is revocation and jail time. And so she's telling me that that would be her preference. I would ask the court to take into consideration that she did complete the dope class. She has done 20 days in jail. She has been on full GPS since December 26th. Because of that, she is not able to work. And so it's just not even feasible to ask for that to continue because she can't even pay for the GPS. So I'm asking the court, if the court is going to revoke her probation, I'm asking the court to consider a jail sentence less than 180 days.
Okay, Ms. Hedlund, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. Need back up here.
Yes, sir.
I apologize. Accept your motion of true to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion. And I revoke your deferred adjudication probation, adjudicate you guilty, defense of possession of a controlled substance, PG3, less than 28 grams. Although I could sentence you to a year in jail, pursuant to counsel and the state's request, I'm going to sentence you to 90 days in the Bexar County Jail. You did some things on your probation. Assess a $2,000 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. You report to the Bexar County Jail at 9:00 a.m. on January 25th, 2021, which is Monday. And I'm recalling all those prior things I did, like GPS and any other restrictions that I had on you before that will be wiped out as an operation of law by us finishing this MTR. Anything further from the state or the defense on Ms. Hedlund?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I have a question. If you mean this coming, did you mean 2 weeks from now? Or did you mean this coming Monday, which will be the 18th?
You're exactly right. Let's do it on Monday, the 18th at 9:00 a.m. I apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Benavides. Good luck, Ms. Hedlund.
Your Honor, I do have another person on your docket today.
Let's see who we got. Who would that be?
Mr. Jones, Tashawn Jones.
Okay, this is cause number 626543, State of Texas versus Tyson Jones. This is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Representing the defendant is Ms. Alma Benavides. Representing the state is Mr. Nick Maru. Representing the Bear County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who our mind is still under oath. This is uncontested. Motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. On the motion, how does the defendant plead?
True, Your Honor, with an explanation.
What's the status of Mr. Jones' probation, Ms. Gross?
Judge, Mr. Jones has performed very poorly on probation. He missed a total of 4 months of reporting. We have not seen him since November 30th of 2020. His case expired December 21st of 2020. He did pay in full. He did complete his community service. We have no record of enrollment or completion of AIDS awareness. He had 1 negative drug test. He had 8 positive drug tests for marijuana. He has no criminal history, and his officer is recommending revocation.
State recommendation.
Along with probation, revocation, Judge.
Defense request.
Your Honor, I did submit the AIDS awareness class certificate to probation and to the state. He did complete that class. I can resend it, but he did complete that class and received a certificate on January the 11th of this year. And Susan, you should have that in your emails if you don't mind checking.
I'm looking right now.
What are we looking for, Susan?
The certificate of completion of the AIDS class.
I believe he did it. I mean, you're telling me he did it, so that's not a problem.
I can resend it.
Jones in cause 626-543, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of prostitution. Although I could sentence you to 180 days in jail, you have done some things. You paid in full and you went to the AIDS awareness course. So I'm sentencing you to 90 days in the Bear County jail, setting a $2,000 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. You're to report to the Bear County jail at 9:00 a.m. on Monday, January 18th, 2021. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Jones?
No, Judge.
Your Honor, I just wanted to make sure that you made a notation that he did complete his community service. He did complete the class. He is paid in full and has served 6 days credit on this case.
And he certainly gets credit for the 6 days.
And I did find the certificate.
Okay, great.
We have issues of stop reporting and I think 9 different instances of marijuana problems. So
That's correct, Your Honor. And I also wanted to point out that Mr. Jones is disabled. He's a disabled vet, 80%, with major depressive disorder.
okay, any got anything further on Mr. Jones?
No, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Ms. Benavides.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
May I be excused?
You bet. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Everyone stay safe.
Bye, Alma.
Bye, Alma.
You
Bye-bye.
too, bye, Alma.
Good to see everyone.
Letter back from Mr. Garcia.
Your Honor.
Judge, I'm here. If I can be put in a room with the probation officer for a second, that'd be great.
Well, hang on. We need her for just a little bit longer, and then I'll be happy to do that for you.
All right.
Your Honor, the paperwork for Daniel Garcia has been sent to you for signature. Judge Hoyos and Keller are still here. And I'm trying to think who else we need. I think those are the ones. And Mr. Garcia has another individual, which is Rodney Taylor as well, just so you know what's left.
Correct.
So Pat, you want to throw me in a room with Rodney for a second?
Your Honor, are you okay with that?
All right, you want to go in a room with who, David?
Rodney Taylor.
Is that your client? Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know if you were addressing me, you broke up.
Absolutely.
Rodney,
you with us still? Rodney?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, I'm going to throw you into 4, Mr. Garcia. Okay?
all right.
And can Mr. Sanchez come back out? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get him out. He's not going to know how to do it. So, all right.
Pat, I don't know how you're going to send Mr. Garcia. He's all the way in China, it looks like.
No, he's there. He's just caught. Okay, Mr. Garcia, 4, Mr. Taylor, you need to see a blue button that says join, hit it, and you can go to breakout. There you go. Thank you.
All right, let's talk about Ms. Keller real quick. It's cause number 625341, State of Texas, Kelly and Keller. I don't have the original, maybe I do, documents in front of me about, we had a previous motion to revoke. Let's see what it is.
We had a hearing and you extended it to get results. I think we just reset.
I understand that was, anybody remember the date of the original hearings about a month ago?
I believe the 11th, Monday.
Okay. At that point, we sort of, we're going to reconvene after we were able to have this probation or Ms. Keller's probation officer chat with the folks from the VA and see what her treatment has been and how she's been doing and what their recommendation is. Is that kind of where we're at, guys? And we've got Mr. Fonseca here from the probation department. Mr. Fonseca, were you able to do any of that?
I got her reports. I got written reports showing she started treatment on the 26th, has continued with the last documentation being on the 5th of January. She's been attending. She's been doing what she's required to do as far as the treatment's concerned. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she's supposed to be complete and relatively soon, within the next few weeks, if I understand correctly.
Mr. Fonseca, did you chat with the VA representatives or counselors about what their recommendation would be with regard to the VA Serena VA 28-day inpatient program? Is that a topic of conversation with them?
Actually, sir, I did not. And she did provide me the number, and I did not have a chance. I didn't realize you wanted me to talk to him. I understood to get a report, which I did get the report.
So I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I did not talk to Mr. Wilson, who was the counselor.
Okay.
That's my fault. I misunderstood.
Judge De Hoyos, have you got any further input from where we were the last meeting?
Yes, I talked to my client and she's informed me that she's attending all the treatment, outpatient treatment, and she was just waiting if you would want to consider that and not order the 28-day, because I don't know if they would be happy with that. I mean, she's done everything she's supposed to. She's almost finished with that. She is willing to take responsibility, and she says if you after talking to her VA, you still wish to give her the 28, she's just going to ask us for a little leniency to allow her to go to Hawaii. But the reason she's going to Hawaii is because she's going to be a lawyer in Hawaii. She's going to have to actually take a test. And remember that thing we all hate, the state bar thing? So I think that's a lot of punishment there. How many of us won't never take a bar exam again? Me. So never take a bar exam again.
Right now.
So she's got to be there a little bit before, a little after from there, and she will keep her scram on. She has no violations of alcohol on the scram. And then if you want her to do VA at that time still, she'll come back and do it when she makes arrangements for her dogs and everything. So she is totally at the mercy of the court. She believes that she has changed her life around since September at least. But she's going to take full responsibility for any action she's done on MTR. I know Mr. Fonseca and I and Susan had to break that room to make sure that there was no action taken after the first MTR was filed. And I believe we're comfortable taking the plea on the September one. So we researched the law on that, and I think that's a good plea on that one.
Let me back up. Why don't you brief us, or Ms. Keller, with Judge De Hoyos' permission, and brief us on the Hawaii plan and tell us what your Hawaii plan is and how soon you would like to implement that.
So I am studying right now for the Hawaii bar, which is fun, but it's actually helped keep me on track, that I have that goal. So I'm in the middle of that. The bar is February 23rd and 24th. I was going to ask for extra time to stay there after the 24th so that I could get with a realtor. My plan is to purchase my first house out there, provided that I pass. I think I will, and just spend that extra time there working with this realtor. But under the circumstances, I think having the scrim on, it's not going to be any use. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get in the water or anything. So I was considering cutting my trip short to get back here, get back to my dogs. And then if I need to go to Villa Serena, I have a little bit of time in between with them, and to get them set up with either Lucy's doggy daycare here for the 28 days, or if I can find a training program, a dog boarding and training program that could run concurrent with the 28 days. That's kind of what I had planned. But right now I'm just focused on this bar study, and I'm working. So I'm doing nothing but working. I haven't had a day off, honestly, in about 3 months. So I've been good. I've enjoyed this time sober. It's really put a lot of things into perspective for me. And I'm actually enjoying being an attorney now, which I hated before. I hated being a family law attorney.
Just call her out for psychological evaluation, please. I think it's obvious that she likes being an attorney.
Exactly. You just ruined yourself, Jillian. You like family law.
I do. I was just talking about it to somebody yesterday, and they were like, I said, I've already passed that point where I just hate my life. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And now I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of fun. But honestly, I wouldn't have that mindset if I wasn't sober. So this has been a really fun time. I'm enjoying things more. And so, I mean, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that.
What month is your Hawaiian bar exam?
It's February 23rd and 24th.
Okay, well, worst case scenario, I'm going to let you go take the bar exam. Worst case scenario. In the meantime, we're back to square one as far as the VA goes, because we haven't talked to the VA. So continue doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Everybody's happy with what you're doing. Okay. And you have something to say? Go ahead, Ms. Keller.
I did talk to Mr. Wilson, and I asked him for, a HIPAA release or whatever. And he said the best way to do it is, if you want to talk to him, to call him. I told him that I would be on here at this time. Well, actually I said 2, and he said he would be available if you guys wanted to call him and do like a conference call right now. So I can give you his number, but you let me know if you want to talk to him right now or whatever. But I talked to him tonight at 5 too. I go on for a Zoom at 5 with him.
Your Honor, she'd also finished her DWI. I don't know, Susan, if y'all got that, or Mr. Fonseca, but she did.
I do have it. She completed on 110.
Has a HIPAA order been signed by Ms. Keller, and we have that somewhere, and they have it at the VA?
I did it when I first started in the VTC program, but that's different, I guess.
Well, it's still the same HIPAA thing. If you authorize us to use that one, I guess we could use that one. Is that not true, Judge De Hoyos?
I would imagine so. The problem is, I thought Jillian, didn't you talk to him and he didn't want the HIPAA?
Yeah, so he said it's a pain in the butt in so many words, and he said to just do a conference call. So I let Mr. Fonseca know that, or Ms. De Hoyos know that was his preference, and provided the number in case they wanted to talk to him. But both of them he writes notes after every session, and this is a group thing, so he's not writing very extensive notes, but he does write notes in my medical records, which I can download anytime for anybody to see. And I I don't mind. I've already sent them. I could send them to whoever, but he does have notes in there that talk about, you know, the things we discussed during our sessions, which I really like. They're group sessions. They're not really focused on you and how crappy you are. They're focused, it's very from a psychological standpoint, and he talks about, you know, certain behaviors and why you do them and how to look at them differently. So I'm set to finish with him, but at the end of this month, but I would like to continue with him because I think it's really helpful.
Is Mr. Wilson a psychologist or a counselor? Do you know what his official status is?
I think he's a psychologist. I think he's got some sort of degree. I've never asked him, but
With Judge DeHoyo's permission, what I'm requesting is how many pages of notes are we talking about that Mr. Wilson generated during the time frame of your counseling and whatnot?
so they're probably like blurbs like this thick from October 26th on, but I send them my entire record. So you have to search by his name if you know, so you're not reading a bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with it.
All right.
Provided. Mr. Fonseca has them.
I have a copy of them. It's like from page 28 to all the way up to 81. Several pages.
So John, you have a copy of all the notes from Mr. Wilson in his counseling with Ms. Keller, is that correct?
Yes, I do. I've scanned it into the CSS and I sent Susan a copy.
Have you read through them?
I've reviewed them and I mean, she's attending and she's doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Okay, nothing jumps out at you as really, really good or really, really bad. It's just she's doing what she's supposed to be doing.
No, it's just that she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. There's nothing negative. There's nothing really outstanding positive. She's attending. She's attended several times since the 26th of October is when she started the treatment.
Okay, Judge Joanne, I got a proposal. Let's leave the MTR in abeyance right now. Let's set up a Zoom meeting with Mr. Wilson next week with whoever wants to attend, except for Ms. Keller. She can't because I want to get her out. And basically, I want to get from the horse's mouth at the VA what their recommendation is for Ms. Keller in the big picture.
Donna, do you want me to call him right now and see he's available? And I'll wait till Mr. Garcia to see if you can talk to him right now. He said he'd be available right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to go, Mr. Garcia, and take it, I'll try calling him right now.
Great. Get him on a Zoom.
Right. Oh, Patty, you'll have to I'll send the email to him, or he can phone in, can't he?
And we have new numbers for today's Zoom meeting.
Yeah. I'll give him the phone number if he can't Zoom. I'll find out right now.
Okay. David, are you back? Are you back, David? Your microphone is still off.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hoping to go into a room with, I guess, Rodney Taylor.
Sure.
And I don't see Mr. Taylor.
Okay, well, that makes things easy. Then Miss Gross, if she's free.
Free as a bird.
Your Honor, you have the paperwork to sign for Daniel Garcia. It's already been sent to you, and that's the paperwork.
Cut me. If I get lost, I'll come back.
Okay, and I'm going to send Mr. Garcia in with Susan. Okay.
Mr. Garcia, are you now in the Presidential Library in DC? Is that what that is?
I'm in the Peabody Library in Baltimore.
Okay. Well, you travel fast.
Mr. Garcia, Rodney Taylor is in room 4 waiting for you.
Okay, great.
So
Thanks.
go there and Susan can wait. You go and talk to him.
All right, thanks.
Make David sign a liability waiver if he's going to go in the same room with Susan.
Hey, Judge, I am sending you the documentation that we have on Miss Keller.
All right, thanks.
I just emailed it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, and so you're going to try to sign the paperwork for Daniel Garcia?
I'm signing it as we speak.
You're wonderful. Thank you, sir.
I know.
I know you love.
For adjudication.
Mr. Garcia, you weren't able to go into room 4?
Nothing popped up, and I don't see anything about breakout rooms on my
Okay, let me
bar.
try again. Let me see where I got you and let me see if, okay, let me send you right now to 4. Now,
There it is.
all right, good.
I just sent that document back to you on,
Okay. I'll find it. I haven't received it yet, Judge.
okay, 2-minute break.
Had I called, he didn't answer. I just texted him. It was his cell
Oh.
number.
Okay, John.
I don't know what happened. I got thrown out. Am I supposed to be somewhere?
Not yet, because
Okay.
I'm in there with something with the defendant.
Okay, I didn't know if I missed anything. Just holler when you need me.
Well, I'm here. I'm waiting for Judge to sign what he needs to sign. I haven't gotten it.
All right, I'm gonna step away for a minute. I need to go
Okay.
to the little probation officer's room.
Okay. I wonder why I didn't get it.
Pat, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I see that Mr. Gomez has been sitting here with us a long time. What's going on with him?
Supposedly he has a defendant that has an active warrant and was set today on an arraignment. And you were going to talk to him about it. He had some violation reports. The last one that he had, you ordered scram, and there was a bond increase of 5,000, if I remember.
What's the defendant's name?
It was Koretsky, Your Honor. We spoke about it over the phone earlier.
And bear with me, John. I apologize. I'm totally overwhelmed. I got 1,000 people on pretrial and 1,000 people on probation, and it's just crazy. So, tell me the name of your client again. I apologize. I'm having a hard time hearing.
Okay. It was Victor Koretsky. We spoke on the phone earlier.
Height, 6 foot, weight 170. What does this mean? Obstruction of a highway case reopened. You know anything about that?
I don't know about that, Your Honor.
Your Honor, it may be that a non-disclosure was filed.
Oh, yes, we did file a non-disclosure on that case.
So it will reopen the case because of the non-disclosure.
So he's pending a DWI greater than 0.15, and he's got a prior obstruction. Would that be all accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I've got a violation report that says the first violation report was he didn't get his interlock or something on in time. Second one says he's got an in-home violation on this, I guess, a smart start movement.
Yes, it is.
0.05. What's the possibility of resolving this instant case? We talked to the state about that. That would help us immensely.
I've not talked to the state about the case regarding the facts and where we stand with it, but I can speak with them about it.
Do we have a cause? Can I have a cause number?
647-331.
You want an SID, state?
No, I got it, Judge. Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
Okay, no contact. I texted, I called. So I guess we'll just try to arrange something else. He waits till 2 o'clock. It's already gonna be.
Let's set it up for next week, and Pat will be in charge like she is with everything.
He's quitting right now, I think.
Your Honor, I don't have the phone number.
We don't have to do
Mr.
that.
Fonseca does. I think Mr. Fonseca is the one who should do it.
Don't you hate those retired probation supervisors?
Oh, yeah, I know. I forgot that's a probation officer thing.
And he was one of mine, so I trained him.
Okay.
John, you're on mute. John, you need to unmute.
Your Honor, what information is it that you want me to get from him? A plan whether or not it's feasible for her to go for residential?
I don't want you to get anything from him. I want to talk to him on a Zoom hearing,
Oh, you want to talk? Okay, so you want me to set it up, Pat?
if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you can reach out to him too, to let him know that I tried calling him.
I'm going to see him tonight at 5 via Zoom, so I'll let him know.
And can
Okay,
you send me
there-
his email just in case, so I can also give to John or to Pat about sending him a Zoom link?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the problem you're going to run into, John. It's going to be like herding cats because Judge Joanne is constantly in Zoom hearings. I'm pretty much available. I would assume Ms. Keller is pretty much available. Nick is going to be available probably, but we got to find out when the counselor, Mr. Wilson, I guess, is going to be available and then work from there.
So I will contact Pat once I find out, and then we can.
John, what I will do is send you an idea of when we have Zoom hearings, which will be probably Tuesday and Wednesday. He is in a judicial conference on Thursday and Friday. However, he is available in the morning.
Oh, well, you don't need me, do you? Because I can't do the 19th, and if y'all gonna do it, I can't do it.
You're the defense counsel. With your permission, we don't need you. I just need
I don't need my.
with regard to what he says about Ms. Keller, whether she needs inpatient. That's kind of where I'm going with all this.
Okay, so Judge would be available in the morning for Tuesday and Wednesday, not in the afternoon.
I can ask him tonight about his availability and help you guys coordinate.
Tuesday
Thank you,
morning, I
Ms.
can
Moore.
actually do. I can actually do Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, I cannot do.
Tuesday morning if you can.
Judge Joanne doesn't need to be there. All we really need is the DA and me there with the.
Okay.
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 So just find out if you would tonight, Ms. Keller, what his availability is, and we'll work around his schedule because he's the one that's really the primary guy. But if it's just Nick and me that need to chat with him, and it's 10 minutes, maybe 5, probably going to take his time up. And we could probably do it on the phone if that became necessary with 2 people.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Judge, can I get in a room with Nicholas Maru?
That depends on what Mr. Maru wants to. Mr. Maru, you want to get in the room with Mr. Garcia?
Is it in that library? It looks like a nice library. Yeah, let's go.
Are we excuse them?
Send them out.
Nick, you can go back to 3. I'll put Mr. Garcia in 3.
And Your Honor, I was really just trying to see what the bond was set at for my client. There may be some suppression issues on this case, so I don't think it'll be something Nick and I can resolve at this moment right now.
Your guy willing to go on Scram?
Scram and Smart Start?
No. Once he's active on Scram, I'd pull the Smart Start off.
I think he'd prefer the Smart Start.
I know, but he's using the Smart Start and he's still drinking. That's not helping me any. Now we're catching him, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to speak to him specifically as to why that happened at .035. It's the only violation I've seen.
I know why it happened. It's called light beer from Miller.
At the Magic Time Theater, huh?
Let's see. Basically, what I've got is a guy on pretrial for DWI with a prior obstruction. So we've got a history of alcohol issues, and he's still drinking, and I can't stop him from drinking. Now, he is blowing in the machine, so he's doing good there, but he's still drinking. So, I mean, he knows he's going to get caught drinking and blowing in the machine. And I guess is he blowing 6 times a day now or 4 times a day? Do we know?
I believe he's on 6 right now.
Sounds right. Well, the next step up when they're still testing positive for alcohol on 6 blows, Scram is the next step up. I'm running out of option. And then jail, of course, but that would be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
All right. Do me a favor, and I apologize for keeping you around all day. You can see it gets a little busy around here. If you would call Mr. We're dealing with Koretsky and see if he's willing to go on Scram. It's going to cost him $350 a month, I think. I'm not really sure what the total amount's going to be. And as soon as he's willing to go on Scram and get active on that, I'll waive the Smart Start and pull his warrant. And then I've got him covered so he's not going to kill himself or somebody else and get me in the paper. You won't be in the paper. I'll be in the paper.
So if he agrees to the Scram, should I just tell him to go? How do we get that set up?
Well, I've already ordered Scram, so it's on the computer. He just needs to go get it through pretrial, I'm guessing.
Okay. All right. Then I'll go ahead and talk to him about that.
We don't want to get him arrested. On the other hand, I don't trust him to not drink until we get this thing resolved. So get him on Scram. Once he's active on Scram, you can call me on my cell. You got my cell stuff. And
Yes.
I will immediately recall his bond increase and reinstate his bond and waive his Smart Start mobile. You can turn that in. And if in the future, if you can't beat this case and he has to go on probation, I'll take him off the Scram and put him back on the Smart Start again. Because then I'll have a hammer over his head and he'll listen to me better.
Yeah, he will. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thanks a lot, John.
Have a good day.
Judge, were you able to get the copy of Mr. Garcia's paperwork?
I'll look. Not yet. Stand by. I got it. Just got to print it.
Okay. And do you need John Fonseca anymore?
Nope. Thank you, John.
So now the only one that we have now is Mr. Garcia and Mr. Rodriguez with Mr. Rodriguez. with Daniel Garcia and David Garcia with Rodney Taylor and Gregorio Sanchez. And the interpreter is still waiting for Mr. Sanchez, MTR. That's all we have, Your Honor. Okay. Mr. Sanchez, at the bottom of your screen, you will see a little globe. It will be right next to like your chat. It says interpretation.
Okay.
You need to hit that, and then you need to put Spanish. Hit Spanish. That way, when the interpreter is talking to you, you will hear everything, okay?
Okay.
Good, good. And then I will make sure the judge also has that with Mr. Garcia so they can hear you.
Está bien. Okay.
Okay, are we ready to go forward on Daniel Garcia? Is that correct?
We just need Nick. You want me to pull him out?
I'm sorry, say it again.
We need Nick. He's in a chat, in a breakout room.
We'll just take a break for a few.
Okay, Your Honor, because we are having the interpreter, you need to go to the bottom of your screen where there's a little globe.
Yeah, interpretation.
Hit that and then hit English. That way you'll hear the interpreter.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Susan too. Susan, are you there?
Yes, I already did it.
You're wonderful. Thank you, girl. Mike, you need to do the same thing so that you can hear.
I already did it, Pat.
You're wonderful. Thank you.
Go in the chat room and bring Nick out again. We're running out of time. You've been very patient, Albert. I'm sorry for the delay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Your Honor, Nick has left his office. He went to look for some paperwork, but Alexis went to go get him to tell him to come back. So
Any DA will work. We're flexible.
I understand, Your Honor, but
Albert, have you been in other courts doing this? They have a better idea than we do because this is taking way too long. It's way too confused.
Well, I've been in 13 almost every day.
Is it any better or any worse than what we're doing?
Well, civil runs a kind of a tight ship.
Yeah, I think our ship sank a while back.
But you know, Judge, I want to just mention something to you.
Sure.
That my uncle was killed in Sicily, World War II, fighting the Nazis. He was with General Patton.
Wow.
Long time ago. Long time ago.
Nick's here, Your Honor.
Yep, I got Nick back. Are we ready to proceed on Daniel Garcia? Are you with us, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, sir.
All right. And we've got Mr. Rodriguez and we've got clause number 641-824, State of Texas versus Daniel Garcia. This is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Mr. Garcia, I have two documents in front of me that purport to have your signature on them. I need to confirm with you. One is titled Defendant's Consent to MTR Hearing by Video Conference. Is that your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Rodriguez, as attorney for Mr. Garcia, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Garcia, the next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, whereas marked is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Rodriguez, as attorney for Mr. Garcia, is this your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
This is, my understanding is an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Representing the state is Mr. Nicholas Maru. Representing the Bexar County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who our mind is still under oath. On the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how does the defendant plead?
He pleads true with an explanation, Your Honor.
Fair enough. What's the status of Mr. Garcia's probation, Ms. Gross?
Judge, Mr. Garcia has been on probation just under 2 months. At the time that he was placed on probation, he was ordered to get a Smart Start mobile device. He has failed to do that. He has not made any effort to make any payments. He has a balance of $1,250 and is delinquent $254. He has not completed any of his 48 hours of community service. We have no proof of enrollment of DWI education, victim impact panel, or CAPSNP programs. For criminal history, he has a prior assault bodily injury, which occurred prior to probation, and a criminal mischief 750 to 2500. His officer is recommending that the court order him to obtain a Smart Start mobile device within 5 days, and would also like to add a class that is offered online for a money management program, as evidently the defendant has expressed to her that he's having financial difficulties. So she would like to add a money management class. This class is available, excuse me, is available online through the Chrysalis Ministries, and it is called Money Matters. It involves a careful examination of understanding of fixed, flexible, and periodic rates. It explores spending priorities, how to use software tools and online banking, and also a 1-hour nutrition class and how you can get more out of the food that you buy at the grocery store. And also information on birth certificates, ID cards, food, hygiene, clothing, utility assistance, rental assistance, et cetera, et cetera.
Sign me up for that. I need that far more than Mr. Garcia, I'm sure.
I'll forward you the link, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Rodriguez, do I have your permission to chat with your client? What I'm interested in finding out is why he has not gotten the Smart Start Mobile.
Yes, and I want him to respond under oath and explain to you what his circumstances are, Your Honor.
You bet. Mr. Garcia, I can't see you, but please raise your right hand.
We
Yes,
need,
sir.
You swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rodriguez, your witness.
Yes, Mr. Garcia, would you like to address the court and explain your financial situation and
Yes,
the
sir.
circumstances?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. So about a year ago, maybe about a year and a half ago now, almost 2 years, I got in a, I guess, accident kind of thing. They dropped 600 pounds on my left shoulder, breaking my collarbone, basically making me disabled to be able to work. So I'm currently in like a lawsuit type of thing. And this happened in July of 19. So that's the reason I'm not able to work. I'm not able to get any kind of help other than food stamps, really, because as it's under investigation, under other lawyers doing the lawsuits and stuff like that, what happened, that's the reason I'm not able to work. Nobody will hire me right now because I'm not able to really stand for 12 hours. I'm not able to lift over 15 pounds. I'm not able to bend over. I'm not able to sit down for more than 12 hours. I'm basically not able to do much but to lay down and take the medication they gave me.
Any further questions, Mr. Rodriguez?
No, Your Honor. I think his explanation will suffice.
Mr. Garcia, how are you surviving? You don't have any income. Who are you living with? How are you getting all that stuff?
I stay right now with my parents out in Elmendorf. They own like a couple of little houses around on the property, and that's it. I mean, I basically give them my food stamp card so that way we go get some food, and that's about it. That's how I pay them for staying there for free, basically.
Okay, well, I think the specific thing we're asking you to do is to utilize the Smart Start mobile device, which is a portable breath testing device that everybody on probation for DWI and County Court 6 uses. And I think it costs plus or minus $95 a month. Susan, is that more or less accurate?
Yes, Your Honor, it's about that. And then there is a hookup fee initially.
Okay, anyway, if you can't do that, that's one thing. But when you're telling me that you can't afford to get a Smart Start mobile, I mean, probation is not supposed to be easy. That's kind of as inexpensive as it gets.
Yes, Your Honor. But
go-to that may cost $100 here and there, but I mean, you're going to have to make it happen.
yes, sir, I understand. And I mean, I'm not stating that I'm not willing to do the programs or anything like that. But on top of that, I'm paying the probation and the court cost and all that stuff. It's $100 plus another, I believe, like $150 plus another, like, plus all the classes. They charge for all that. And that's another extra $100 that I do not have. That so altogether, that's like another $400 that I have to come up with basically to do what I have to do. And by me not working and not able capability of doing what I need to do to work, it's kind of hard. And then to ask my parents to help me do that also on top of living with them, I don't know if they'll be able to do that either.
Oh, you're putting me
So
in.
I was looking for like the program. I mean, I was asking for, I guess, seeing if there's any other way I can do this. I know you have to pay for it every month. I know there's a charge, but I mean, I'm not asking for anything for free. I'm just trying to figure out a better solution to pay for this stuff.
You're putting me in a tough love situation, which I apologize is that way, but it's that way. We've got 1,000 people on probation, probably 900 of them are on for DWI, and everybody is doing exactly what we asked them to do with regard to the Smart Start mobile device, except you. Now, with regard to your fine and your court costs, that kind of, I don't think I can do anything on court costs, but fine and that thing, you can do community service. And there are programs out there through the probation department where you can answer the phone for community service. So that's something you ought to be able to do, I would imagine. Correct?
Yes, sir.
In the meantime, this is what parents are for. You're going to have to borrow money is what it boils down to. It's not that much. You know, $100 a month for the breath testing device. And if you do well on the breath testing device, we take it off in half the time, but you haven't been on it since what? You've never been on it, I guess.
No. Yes, sir. This is my first defense. That's why.
You understand my position. I just can't take somebody's word for it. Gee, I'm poor little me. I can't afford to be on probation. Well, you
understand. I have
alcohol to get a DWI and drive a car and get gas and oil and maintenance and all that. So I'm having a hard time dealing with it.
I understand. And that's the reason I have proof of paperwork from doctors and surgeons. I'm literally supposed to get surgery in the next 2 months for my back. So that's supposed to help with everything too. So I could go to work. But like I said, as of right now, and since I've been waiting because of the COVID and all that stuff, all that court stuff before all this, it was put on hold basically. So the whole court of going to settle this settlement basically got put on hold. I mean, it's no excuse for any of the other stuff that happened in between all that stuff. I mean, but I'm just trying to take responsibility for what I did, but it's just hard for me right now because I'm not capable of working. I don't even drive anymore because of that reason. Like, I don't have way of doing anything. I don't even have my vehicle back.
Well, here's my options. A, get you in compliance, which means you're going to have to borrow money from mom and dad, I guess. Or B, put you in jail, which I don't really want to do. But, you know, I'm running out of options. I mean, you got any other ideas, Mr. Garcia?
No, sir. I mean, I could just ask and see what they can do for me. I mean, to at least have me get that figure it out.
Recommendation on Mr. Garcia?
I mean,
I'm
Judge,
sorry, Judge.
did you say state?
State. That would be.
Yeah, Judge. I mean, we're kind of on board with what the court is saying here. I mean, part of his probation is to be on Smart Start mobile device. And, you know, we understand that it might be a financial burden, but like you said, we have plenty of defendants who find a way to make it work. So, I mean, I think that's the circumstance here is he just needs to find a way to make it work.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to jump to you at this point because as defense counsel, I mean, you got a defendant who got a DWI. So somewhere down the line, he had money and had cars and had enough money to get hooch stuff and all that stuff. And now it's like, oh, I don't have any money, so I can't get a Smart Start. So, you know, it puts me in a bad position.
It does, Your Honor. But, you know, as far as sympathy, I don't drink. So that's as far as it goes.
All right, I got a plan.
Yes, sir.
Anything further? Susan, did you have an input? You were chatting a minute ago.
No, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state of the defense?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, in cause 650-102, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt. I find you guilty of the offense of driving while intoxicated. First offense. I sentence you to 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year. What was the original fine amount on this case, Susan, if you know?
Judge, it was $450.
$450 plus court costs, 48 hours community service, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, community lines for traffic safety new intervention program, Smart Start mobile device for half the term. What did I-
Judge, what is the timeline to obtain Smart Start?
10 days. I'm going to assign a sanction of 30 days in the Bear County Jail. And that sanction is going to start, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Monday, the 25th of January. That's like 12 days. If you don't have a Smart Start mobile, by 9:00 a.m. on the 25th, you report to the Bear County Jail and sit there for 30 days and think about coming up with a plan to be able to afford it. State, did I miss anything?
No, Judge.
Now, if he gets active on the Smart Start mobile, Mr. Rodriguez, you've got my cell number. You call me immediately and I'll waive this sanction. We'll defer it.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
The ultimate issue is he's got to get a Smart Start. No hard feelings, 4 times a day, not 6 or anything else colorful. And he's got to start these programs. If he doesn't do that, we're going to be back here again and it will be a bigger problem for everybody. Especially.
I understand.
All right, Mr. Garcia, do you understand what's going on?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you want to go to a chat room with your attorney while we've got him and talk about this, you're welcome to do that. But basically, I'm done for the day.
Judge, I'd like to talk to him before he goes anywhere.
All right.
And I also need to talk to both of them before they go anywhere as well. The application and the probation application and data sheet as soon as we're finished. Susan, go ahead.
All right, Mr. Garcia, the probation department is going to reach out to you within the next 48 hours to set up a time to do your Zoom orientation. You're starting probation all over again, okay? If you
Yes,
do
ma'am.
not hear from anybody within 48 hours, then give the probation department a call. If you grab a pencil, I will give you a phone number. It is 210-335-7200, and you need to ask for the intake department.
Okay.
Okay. If they don't call you and you don't call them to find out what's going on, that's on you. You will have a new warrant issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Can you give me that number again just to make sure?
Yes, 210-335-7200, and you're going to ask for the intake department.
Your Honor, he has an active warrant now. Please recall the warrant if you have not.
Call it, and it's going to be recalled by Operation Law anyway.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Garcia?
No, ma'am. Is there anything else I could talk to them about the other classes, about the other programs and stuff, probation, I guess the hours, community service?
They're going to give you all that stuff and go over all that with you when you go through your orientation. But basically, it's the same thing that you've already been told. You should already have a list of all those classes. I would get on the phone or the computer and figure out when you're going to get started as soon as possible.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay. Your
Yes,
Honor, Your Honor, the interpreter is telling me that she has to leave at 5. She has another interpreter available. I need to know, are we going to take Mr. Sanchez next?
I guess so. It's going to be after 5 no matter what we do.
Yeah. So, Mariana, we need to know what you want us to do. Okay, we can't hear you. Hold on. There you go. I can't down. Okay.
May I be excused, Your Honor? Goodbye.
Okay. Okay.
All right. This is
Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am. Am I excused?
618-119, State of Texas, Gregorio Sanchez. This is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Mr. Sanchez, I have two documents that purport to have your signatures on them that I need you to confirm that you signed. The first is entitled Defendant's Consent to a MTR Hearing by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Sanchez?
Sí.
Okay. And the second document is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. And it is marked as an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication. And the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Sí.
Mr. Garcia, as attorney for Mr. Sanchez, did you sign both these documents?
I did, Your Honor.
Thank you. I also have a certification of defendant's right of appeal in Spanish. And I think because I don't speak Spanish fluently, I marked the wrong box. Es la revocación de la libertad provisional. Is that a deferred adjudication? Is that what that means?
Your Honor, I believe it's the one under it.
Right.
Se determine su culpa.
Yes, Your Honor, it's the one under it. That's right.
Pat, you just make sure we sign the right one.
I will. I'll make sure that they do, Your Honor, I promise.
And Mr. Sanchez, is this your signature on this certification of the defendant's right of appeal in Spanish? Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Parece que sí.
Okay. Would you need to look at it? What would make you know whether it is or it isn't?
No, está bien.
Okay. Is this your signature on this document in Spanish, sir?
Sí.
And Mr. Garcia, as attorney for Mr. Sanchez, is this your signature on this document in Spanish?
It is, Judge, and I just wanted to clarify for the court. He signed all of this on the auspices that we all had an agreement. I just wanted to clarify with probation and the state that there was an agreement.
Okay. Well, at the appropriate time, we'll look at that. Obviously, I'm not my agreements, but I've been going along with them pretty much lately.
Right.
So we are at that point, and you can make an objection at that point if I decide not to go along with it. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Once again, representing the state, Mr. Nicholas Maru, representing the Bexar County CSCD. Ms. Susan Gross, who I remind is still under oath on the motion to revoke, the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. How does the defendant plead?
Tocante el caso.
My understanding is he would either plead true or not true, and he can explain it, obviously, after whichever way he goes.
Sí, es cierto.
Okay. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the parties in the court what the status of Mr. Sanchez's probation is, please?
Yes, Your Honor. His reporting has been very poor. He missed 3 months of reporting to the probation department. We last saw him on December 15th, 2020, which was a jail court hearing. Prior to that, we had not seen him since October 21st, 2020. He has been arrested and charged with a new driving while intoxicated out of Atascosa County on November 8th, 2020. He has completed 48 hours of community service. He completed his sanction of Smart Start Mobile on February 26th, 2020. He's had 5 negative drug tests, failed to submit on 1 occasion, had 2 diluted drug tests, and was positive for alcohol on the night of his arrest, November 8th, 2020. He has completed DWI education, victim impact panel, CATSNP. He is paid in full. He has no criminal history, and his officer is recommending revocation. This case did expire on November 22nd, 2020.
Mr. Garcia, you mentioned that you had an agreement with the state. Would you please clarify for the court what that agreement is?
It was his understanding, Judge, that in talking to probation, that it was his understanding, I didn't get a chance to speak to probation, that he would be continued on probation, Judge. That's why I was a little leery.
Yeah, that's not the recommendation that's in the court summary.
Right.
Hey, did you have an agreement with Mr. Garcia on this case?
Not that I'm aware of, and maybe Mr. Garcia can tell me if that's.
No, I didn't get a chance to speak to Mr. Maru. That's why I was hoping that he had been given an understanding from probation when I explained to him picking up a new DWI in Poteet while he's on probation for what would have been a DWI, although it was changed to an obstruction, didn't seem likely to be a continued probation case.
If you wanted to volunteer for inpatient alcohol rehab or something, that might place us in a different category, but I don't know that he wants to do that. Have you chatted with him about that possibility?
I did not, because of the pending DWI in Poteet.
Judge, he's not eligible to go to SATF with a pending case.
Bummer. He's got 14 days credit, it looks like to me. Does that sound right? Jail credit.
Yes.
And he's actually done okay on probation except for the 3-month AWOL and the new DWI. Would everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Why were we AWOL for 3 months? Let's talk about that first.
Tengo una pregunta.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
No estuve ausente 3 meses. Yo me estaba reportando y le dejaba mensaje a la probation officer. Yo siempre estuve al punto, al corriente de todo.
Susan, can you explain that if that's true?
I'm going to look up his record right now, Your Honor.
Yeah, it's my understanding he was trying to do everything he could, Judge. But I mean, he did have that mistake in Poteet amongst some other small ones.
And David, has he finished the CASNIP program? Is that true? Did I hear that?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
It didn't work.
It's a process, Judge. And Judge, by the way, a belated happy birthday.
Thank you very much. State, I'm thinking about 2 options on this. I need yours and the defense's input. If we revoke him, he's done substantial stuff on his probation. He's going to have to fight the new DWI anyway. My theory is we sentence him to 30 days and I give him credit for time served, judgment satisfied, and then let him go fight the new DWI. Or we keep him on probation and we're going to stick him on a scram device at $350 a month. Once he shows me a clean 30-day period of time without any problems, we'll take him off of that and put him back on Smart Start. But I don't know what his position is on that or what the state's position is on those 2 options.
I mean, we're okay with either one of those options, Judge, because either way, he's either going to have to go fight that new DWI or he's going to have to be on scram. So either way, we're okay with that.
Garcia, do you want to chat with your client about that? And I can't hear you, so I don't speak Spanish, so I won't know what you're saying.
I do want to speak to him, Judge.
Let's take him in the chat room if you would, Pat.
Thanks.
Judge, it looks like he was given an appointment and he didn't show up and he didn't report the arrest to the officer. I'm still reading.
My understanding is he spoke to one of the officers and they said, come on in and talk about it. The judge will be more understanding, and he did. But let me go.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, you need to go into a chat room. You need to hit join on the bottom so that you can talk to your attorney. See if you can see it. Should be a blue button on the bottom of your screen. There you go.
And after we finish all this, then we're gonna have a chat about procedure because you're really having problems with getting paperwork at the last minute.
And I have a case I gotta discuss.
Okay, and I send them right after we know. You know, and I am emailing them constantly and sending them reminders constantly. I mean, 2 or 3 times a week I am doing this.
Well, I'm thinking if we don't, once again, the original concept, which we haven't been able to follow, is if they don't have all the paperwork done 24 hours in advance of the hearing, we just set it back another week and get the paperwork in. And,
Oh, I don't remember ever hearing that.
well, that was my plan. You haven't followed it.
Saying it to yourself, you just thought you told us that.
Well, doesn't that sound like a good idea?
Well, to me, I don't know whether that's rewarding, you know, them and then they don't get it next week and then what? Unless I can threaten them and say, okay, if you miss the next one and don't do paperwork, we'll issue a damn warrant for your arrest.
About the rest of you, but I'm not jumping through hoops like we've been doing today. And all of y'all have.
And you think you've jumped through hoops. You know what I've been doing.
We're going to get Pat business cards. You're going to say cat herding.
Mm-hmm. You need to send her on an all expense paid trip somewhere.
Look, you have no time. You have no clue. I can now apply for my Social Security. So now I'll still have 2 checks if I leave here. So you need to be kind to me.
I almost didn't recognize when we started Zoom today. Nick shaved all his hair off.
I know.
It's like, who's
Growing
that?
his beard. He's growing his beard, but he got a haircut.
I know. Nick, you need to let it grow.
That means it's the
I
onset.
like him like that with his beard. I do.
I know, but his hair, he needs to let it grow.
A little bit more. A little bit.
Are we on Zoom still?
Yes, of course.
You want to come off of Zoom until they're